Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new recent reads video. I think I've read almost 150 books this entire year, which is pretty great. So with that said, my May reading month has been solid so far, and without any further ado, the first book on this list is called The Things We Miss. This story is a middle-grade contemporary following a young, misfit main character who finds a way to skip her bad days by using time travel. Kind of like skipping forward ahead in time, if that makes any sense. Honestly, I didn't love this book because simultaneously it felt both too short and dragged out at the same time, if that makes any sense. Just because like I got the main point of this book before the main character did, so it felt dragged out in that sense, and then other times it felt too short because some things were too underdeveloped. I think this book is less than 200 pages also, if that makes any sense. Anyway, for me personally, I was more interested in the time travel fantastical elements than what the book is actually about, if that makes any sense. The characters are well developed and distinct, and I enjoyed the conversations about like grief and friendship, and like the point of the story is definitely objectively good. It's just that for me personally, I rated this book 3 stars, so take that as you will. The next book on this list is called The Summer Love Strategy. This story is a YA contemporary following a sapphic main character who has anxiety, who makes a pact with her best friend to find a summer romance. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. First of all, the queer representation is excellent. I loved it so much. The neurodivergent representation was also so good and so well done. The main character's love interest is transgender while also being autistic, and it just felt so authentic and so well done. The characters themselves as people were so awesome and so good. The plot is so intriguing and so engaging. The romance itself was so cute and so well paced. I just really enjoyed it so much. Nothing about this story felt like it came out of nowhere or like felt like it was there just for diversity's sake or anything like that, because everything felt like they were well developed and well paced and well done. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but this book was really good and I was immersed in it from the beginning to the end. I had really high expectations for this book because the author's previous book I rated 5 stars a year ago, or was that the year before? I don't remember. Anyway, I had really high expectations because I trust the author's reputation, and this book absolutely scored. It was so good. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly recommend it because I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I really enjoyed it. The next book on this list is called Anzu in the Realm of Darkness. This story is a middle-grade fantasy graphic novel that follows a young main character who accidentally falls into the spirit world, so she's trying to find her way back home. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. First of all, the Japanese culture felt so authentic and so good. The illustrations were so pretty and so well done. The plot is so engaging and so intriguing. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. I loved the conversations surrounding like Asian culture and owning who you are and embracing your heritage and your name and all of that and everything that makes you different. I don't know if that makes any sense, but this book was so good. I had really high expectations for it because I had previously read another graphic novel by the same author last year, if I'm not mistaken, and it was so good. So when I heard that they were writing another book, naturally I was so excited for it, and this book definitely met those expectations. So anyway, overall, this book was absolutely so fantastic, and it was so good. So with that said, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Death's Country. This story is a YA fantasy following 2 teenagers who are traveling down into the underworld to retrieve their girlfriend's soul, because if you hadn't noticed, the 3 of them are in a polyamorous relationship. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. First of all, the portrayal of a polyamorous relationship was done so well, and I truly felt the love each of them had for each other. This book is so good. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. Like, the plot is so engaging, the world building is excellent, and it's so wonderful and it's so good. The free-verse format was awesome and it felt so lyrical and so poetic. Sometimes when I'm reading free-verse stories, the writing feels very abstract, so the story itself doesn't really feel authentic because the characters don't feel like real people and they instead feel too flowery instead, if that makes any sense. But within the parameters of this book, it felt so good and so awesome, and I fell in love with it, if that makes any sense. This book is so good, and it's really, really well done. I loved the queerness of it. I loved the love in it within the characters, and the love they had not only for themselves, but for each other. Anyway, overall, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. The last book on this list is called This Book Won't Burn. This story is a YA contemporary that follows a young Indian-American Muslim main character who finds lists of banned books at her new school, so she decides to challenge the status quo. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. I love stories about challenging the status quo, but I love even more about stories that reflect real life, and reading a book about book bannings and social activism is so timely and it's so important and it's so relevant to modern day America, because when the government bans books, they're basically trying to control education, and when you control education, you're controlling what people read and what children are reading, and like knowledge is power and learning is power, and words give people power. And anyway, my point is, knowledge is power, and you shouldn't let the government dictate how much knowledge you have or how you learn something or what exactly you are learning or where you're learning from. Anyway, the point is, the plot of the story is absolutely so excellent, and it's so intriguing and it's so engaging. The story is so powerful and it's so well done. The characters are so well developed and so distinct. Everything about the story felt so authentic and so well done. I loved her friendships, I loved her romance, I loved her family dynamics, especially with her sister and with her mom. This book was so well done, and it's unbelievably so important and so relevant and so timely. And with that, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely highly, highly recommend it. So in conclusion, so far in May, I have read more books this month than there have been current days in the month, if that makes any sense. In conclusion, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the spider emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!